Hello and welcome. You're watching Tracking COVID-19. I am Anil Thomas. This is your special half-an-hour show in which we tell you all the developments on the pandemic. We also get you inputs about steps taken by the administration, inputs by our correspondents, global developments and experts' advice. We'll be getting you the latest on Indians stranded abroad getting evacuated, while migrant labor also finding their way back to their home states. A story, loads of stories that we'll be looking for in the next 30 minutes. Let's begin with the top headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says efforts now should be to stop the spread of COVID-19 in rural areas. Says India must leverage the opportunities that arise in the post-COVID era and must plan for the new world reality. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says there is a twofold challenge before the country today: to reduce the transmission rate of the disease and to increase public activity gradually. Says new way of life would be on the principle of Jan se lekar jag tak, from an individual to the whole of humanity. Indian Railways to begin passenger train service on 15 select routes from today. 15 pair of special trains to start plying in addition to the Shramik special trains. Tickets for these trains can be booked online only through the IRCTC website or mobile app. Migrant workers from different parts of the country continue to reach their homes through Shramik express trains. A total of 513 Shramik special trains have been run since May 1st, taking over 6 lakh passengers to their homes. Vande Bharat mission to bring home Indians stranded abroad continues for the 6th day today. 6 flights arrive in different parts of the country and many more to arrive today from various locations. Indian Navy's mission Samudra Setu continues to bring back stranded Indians from a number of countries. INS Magar to reach Kochi from Mall with over 200 Indians on board. Number of active cases stand at 46,008 in India with 2,293 deaths. 22,453 patients have been cured and discharged. Global COVID-19 confirmed cases crossed 77,000 mark, with over 2,86,000 deaths reported across the globe. United States the worst hit with over 80,000 deaths, followed by United Kingdom, Italy and Spain. Well, let's begin first with the latest COVID-related news from the country in Ground Zero. Let's get straight into number crunching. As per the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare's latest update on COVID-19 cases in the country that were released this morning, the total number of confirmed cases in India is 70,756, out of which 46,008 patients are active, while 22,454 patients have been cured or discharged from hospitals. The death toll stands at 2,293. That's the number of people that have lost their lives in the battle against the virus. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday interacted with the Chief Ministers of states and union territories through video conferencing. This was the 5th such meeting of the Prime Minister with Chief Ministers of all states. The meeting, which lasted 6 hours, saw discussions on various aspects related to COVID-19 in the country, such as measures to prevent the spread of COVID-19, phasing out of lockdown and speeding up the economic activity. Identifying that the world has fundamentally changed post-COVID-19, Prime Minister said that we must all plan for a new world reality and expressed hope that with collective determination, India will be able to win its fight against COVID-19. Well, let's now take a look at some of the significant or the main salient features which the Prime Minister put forward in his interaction. In his opening remarks, the Prime Minister said, We now have reasonably clear indication as per the geographical spread of the pandemic in India, including the worst affected areas. Prime Minister said that this understanding of the spread of COVID-19 will help the country in having a focused fight against it. He added that we have a twofold challenge to reduce the transmission rate of the disease and to increase public activity gradually. While adhering to all the guidelines, Prime Minister further said that now the effort should be to stop the spread of COVID-19 to rural areas. He further went on to say that we must understand that the world has fundamentally changed post-COVID-19 and this would entail significant changes in how we function. He said the new way of life would be on the principle of Jan se lekar jag tak, from an individual to the whole of humanity. He added that they should constantly remember that till we do not find a vaccine or a solution, the biggest weapon with us in the fight against the virus is social distancing. He requested all the chief ministers for specific feedback on the lockdown. He asked them to share their inputs by the 15th of May, a broad strategy on how they would want to deal with the lockdown regime in their particular states. He added that he wants states to make a blueprint on how they would lead with the various nuances during and after the gradual easing of the lockdown. Prime Minister said we will need an all-encompassing approach to deal with various challenges that will arise before us. Well, some of the challenges that will be before us, an all-encompassing approach to deal with the various challenges that will come before us. These includes with the onset of monsoon, there could be a proliferation of many non-COVID diseases that needs to be taken care of. We must also prepare and strengthen our medical and health systems. Referring to the resumption of train services, the Prime Minister said this is needed to rev up the economic activity, but said that all the routes will not be returned. Prime Minister said that only a limited number of trains would ply, and he also said that he continues to feel optimistic when not even a single state sounded despondent, and that this collective determination will make India win in its fight against COVID-19. Prime Minister said that the post-COVID era also brings opportunities that India must be able to leverage. Prime Minister further went on to say that the suggestions made by the states for a roadmap on economy will be given due consideration, and the chief ministers also appreciated the leadership of Prime Minister in the country's fight against COVID-19 and also highlighted the need to strengthen the medical and health infrastructure in the country. Several of them pointed out that with the return of migrants, there is a need for strict implementation of social distancing guidelines. The chief ministers in their suggestions on economy have sought support to MSMEs, infrastructure projects like power, easing of interest rates on loans and assured market access to the agricultural produce. Some of the suggestions that the chief ministers gave, purely in terms of infrastructure projects, easing of interest rate loans, assured market access to the agriculture produce. Moving on, Vande Bharat mission to bring home Indian stranded abroad continues for the 6th day today. 6 flights arrived in different parts of the country. 139 students from Manila landed in Ahmedabad in the wee hours at 3 a.m. this morning. Flights carrying passengers from United States of America with the stranded Indian nationals there also arrived this morning in Gujarat. Air India flight from Bahrain reached Kozhikode today. Kochi saw the arrival of 177 stranded Indians from Dubai. 107 Indian passengers from Dhaka and 180 Indians from Malaysia also made their safe arrival to the country last night. 5 flights are scheduled from the Gulf countries on day 6 of the Vande Bharat mission. It will bring more than 880 distressed and stranded citizens back to the country. Meanwhile, Indian Navy's Samudra Setu bringing Indians from the Maldives also continues. INS Magar will reach Kochi today from Mal with over 200 Indians on board the ship. Moving on, the 4th evacuation flight from Bangladesh is leaving Dhaka for Srinagar at 11 a.m. The special Air India flight under the Vande Bharat mission of the Government of India is carrying 169 medical students from India stranded in Bangladesh in the wave of the corona pandemic and its subsequent lockdown. The passengers of the flight to Srinagar thank the High Commission of India for its help in arranging the special evacuation flight. They also thank the Government of India and the High Commission of India in Bangladesh for extending them all help during the process of evacuation from Bangladesh.
I would like to thank the Government of India and the Indian High Commission along with the Jammu and Kashmir administration for being so understanding and cooperative. They planned our safe evacuation. We are very happy.
I am very thankful and grateful to the High Commission of India in Bangladesh, in Dhaka, Bangladesh. I am very thankful that they planned our evacuation. We were stranded here in Bangladesh from last 1 month. We are very thankful to High Commission. I want to also thank our local government in Jammu and Kashmir.
Earlier on Monday, the 3rd evacuation flight carrying 104 Indian nationals reached Mumbai from Dhaka. 2 other flights on the 8th and 9th of May evacuated Indian citizens from Bangladesh to India. The first flight carried 168 medical students from Bangladesh to Srinagar on May 8th, while the second flight carried 129 Indian citizens to the national capital Delhi on May 9th. Indian Railways will begin passenger train services on 15 select routes from today. 15 pair of special trains will start plying in addition to the Shramik special trains. Other regular passenger services, including all that are there in the mail, express, passenger and suburban services, shall remain cancelled until further advice. These special trains which have started presently will have only air-conditioned classes, that's first, second and third AC. The fee structure for the special train shall be applicable for the regular timetable Rajdhani trains. Only online e-ticketing will be done through IRCTC website or through mobile app. Current booking, Tatkal and premium Tatkal booking shall not be permitted on these trains. Well, now let's take a look at the advisory for passengers who are traveling by these special services that they need to follow, that they need to observe, or the precautions that one needs to take. Only passengers with confirmed tickets shall be allowed to enter the railway station. All passengers shall be wearing face covers, masks at the entry and during the entire time of travel. Passengers must take time and remember they should reach the station at least 90 minutes in advance to help thermal screening and also follow all the other procedures. Only passengers who are found asymptomatic will be permitted to travel in the trains. Passengers shall observe social distancing both at the station and on the train. On arrival at the destinations, passenger will have to adhere to the health protocols that are prescribed by the destination states and union territories. All passengers are advised to download and use the Arogya Setu application. No linen, blankets and curtains shall be provided in the train. Passengers are advised to travel light as per the MHA guidelines or the Ministry of Home Affairs guidelines. The passengers, the movement of passengers as well as the driver of the vehicle transporting the passenger to and fro the railway station shall be allowed on the basis of confirmed e-tickets. Migrant workers from different parts of the country continue to reach their homes safely through the Shramik Express trains. A total of 513 Shramik special trains have run since the 1st of May, taking over 6 lakh passengers to their homes. Amidst all the challenges caused by COVID-19, Assam state government has constituted a task force to make a roadmap aiming the revival of the state and the economy there. On the other hand, 5 more patients have been released from hospital last night, and with that, the total number of cured patients in the state stand at 39. Let's take a look.
Along with the relentless effort to deal with COVID-19 in Assam, the state government is right now trying to find out all possible ways to revive its state economy. Already in this regard, reviewing the impact of this pandemic on the business sector, yesterday the Assam Chief Minister Sarbananda Sonowal has announced that a task force has been created so that a roadmap can be done and the state economy can be strengthened within a very short span of time, which can be regarded as a very important initiative at this moment. Apart from that, if we talk about the COVID-19 scenario in the state, 5 more patients have been released from hospital who got cured from this disease, and with that only right now, total number of cured persons stand at 39, which is a very great news for the state. This is Kamal Bora with my friend Gautam Kolta from Guwahati for DD India.
Well, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar on Monday held a meeting with his counterparts from the United States, Australia, Brazil, Japan, Israel and South Korea on the COVID-19 pandemic. The External Affairs Minister tweeted a broad-based virtual meeting on responding to the COVID-19 challenge, productive discussions with the U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, Australian Foreign Minister Maurice Payne, Israeli Foreign Minister Katz, Japan's FM Motegi Toshimitsu, Brazil's Foreign Minister Ernesto Arjo and South Korean Foreign Minister Kang Kyung-wha. In another tweet, the External Affairs Minister said the conversation covered pandemic response, global health management, medical cooperation, economic recovery and travel norms. Dr. Jaishankar said he is looking forward to continuing this engagement. Well, time now to take a look at some good news stories in this particular window. Well, the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, that CSIR Laboratory, and the National Aerospace Laboratories based in Bengaluru have developed a portable, non-invasive, cost-effective ventilator, Swasth Vayu, that has the potential use to treat moderate or mid-stage patients who do not require intubation. CSIR NAL claims to have developed a simple-to-use, cost-effective, compact ventilator configured with the majority of indigenous components in just 36 days. Well, time to take a look at some facts too. It's unfortunate that even in this time of crisis, people are spreading rumors and fake news. To keep yourself updated and informed, we bring you the fact check every day. Today's fact check comes from this particular story. The news that we are focusing today comes from a news portal of Daily Excelsior, which reported that Jammu and Kashmir students stranded in Delhi due to the lockdown were told to arrange buses for themselves by college administration. The truth, however, is that the university administration has not asked students to leave or arrange their own transport. The second story that we are looking at, or we're trying to burst, that is fake, is from a story that circulated of the Ministry of Home Affairs having declared Guwahati and 6 other districts as red zone. The truth, however, is that the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare and not Home Ministry categorizes districts under zones in relation to COVID-19. Assam has no red zone districts as of now. Well, time now to take a look at what's happening across the globe with COVID-19. Well, moving first to our neighbors, Nepal, the number of COVID-19 cases has jumped to 134 after 24 more persons tested positive. This is the highest number of COVID-19 cases reported in a single day in the Himalayan nations. All patients are undergoing treatment in different hospitals and their condition is reported to be normal. There are 101 active cases in the Himalayan nation, while 33 patients have recovered so far. At present, 12,701 people are under quarantine and 153 persons have been kept in isolation across the country. A look at some global numbers. Global COVID-19 confirmed cases crossed the 41,77,000 mark, with over 2,86,000 deaths reported across the globe. United States, the worst hit, with over 80,000 deaths, followed by United Kingdom, Italy and Spain, all three countries number 2, 3 and 4 coming from Europe. Well, as the stay at home is going to expire in New York on the 15th of May, the governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, has said that he expected several regions in the state outside of New York City that they would be able to begin in a phased reopening in that particular cities. Businesses and recreational activities that include tennis, landscaping and gardening and drive-in theaters are expected to open on the 15th of May. Some regions are ready to go. They just need to get some logistical pieces in order by the end of the week. This is what the governor said. He expects that the reopenings would be coordinated across the state and that hospitalizations and other metrics would be watched closely. If thresholds are exceeded, restrictions could be put back into place, is what he's also warned the people of New York City. Moving to Britain, United Kingdom Prime Minister Boris Johnson has said that Britain will need to think about how its economy can adapt if a vaccine for the novel COVID-19 does not emerge quickly. He added that employers would have to adhere to regulations and enforcing social distancing measures with regular inspections to make sure they were doing so. The death toll from COVID-19 in United Kingdom has surpassed 32,140, and as of now, the number of cases of infection are more than 2,24,330. Taking a look at WHO, as countries begin to exit from lockdown amidst the coronavirus scare, the WHO, that's the World Health Organization, has expressed concerns about a second wave of infections. WHO Director General Tedros said that the lifting restrictions was a complex and difficult exercise and that a slow and steady lifting of lockdowns was the key to it. He added that before any country begins to lift restrictions, it should have the epidemic under control and ensure that its health systems are able to cope with a potential resurgence and have necessary testing, tracing and isolating infrastructure in place. Moving to Asian country of UAE, where it has witnessed a hike in the coronavirus cases 2 weeks after the government relaxed restrictions allowing malls and restaurants to open. The number of coronavirus cases in the 6 Gulf Arab states have surpassed 1 lakh, while UAE has more than 18,870 cases, with the death toll now exceeding 200. Well, moving to some good stories or good field stories. A pianist in Brazil found a unique way to celebrate Mother's Day or, celebrations during this particular quarantine period. Musician Rodrigo Cunha and his piano took an elevated route in downtown Sao Paulo, playing music for those mothers who are quarantined. Wearing a mask shield and riding atop a modified flatbed truck, Cunha was moving on a highway, weaving through graffiti-covered buildings that have become a symbol of the city's urban grit. The musician says this is one of the few ways he can help the region's mothers, many of whom are forced to pass this particular moment without their children or grandchildren by their side. Moving on, a 9-year-old Malaysian girl proved that age is just a number when it comes to helping frontliners in the fight against COVID-19. Nurafia Kustina Zamzuri may be too young to understand the COVID-19, but she knows that it is dangerous. So when she heard that the local hospital was looking for people to sew protective gear, she immediately volunteered. Since early March, she has made 130 gowns for 2 hospitals that are near her vicinity. Nurafia learned how to sew at the age of 5 and can make 4 full PPE gowns a day, sewing between playtime and online classes. Nurafia's mother hopes that her daughter's efforts can inspire other Malaysians to play their part in the fight against COVID-19. Malaysia has reported more than 6,500 infections and have reported over 100 deaths. Well, after being shut for more than 3 months, Shanghai Disneyland is pulling all stops ahead of its reopening. The temperature screening station is ready. Disney staff were pasting social distancing markers in the queue and disinfecting the facilities. Visitors have to purchase admission tickets for selected dates, and annual pass holders have to make a reservation before coming to the park. The Chinese government has asked Disney to cap attendance of the reopened park at 30% of its capacity, or roughly 24,000 people. But Disney is planning to open the park far below that capacity to try out new safeguards. Disney has closed its theme park in the United States, Disneyland and Walt Disney World, until further notice. Well, the coronavirus pandemic has left individuals with the sunniest of outlooks having a hard time staying positive. These are unprecedented times that require unprecedented efforts. Let's wrap up by saluting all nurses who are fighting the COVID pandemic fearlessly and selflessly on International Nurses Day today. That's it from me. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Take care.